Shatta Wale sent in some energy and he left a very strong footprint in Nigeria. And you know why I'm excited about that? Now the glory is coming to Ghana. And for me, I thought that this should be recorded in the Bible as the epistle of Shatta Wale.
Blakk Rasta is in the news. Now, first of all, credit to Blakk Rasta, the Black Port. All right. Now, Shatta Wale went to Nigeria, and in an interview, he was asked the question about Burna Boy and his statement, and a Blakk Rasta said, nah, the answer or the statement from Shatta Wale must be recorded in the Bible as the epistle of Shatta Wale. He also responded or reacted to the recent brouhaha between Stonebwoy and then Shatta Wale about the same interview. Now let's get into this. Subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to drop your comment, like the video as well. Now in the interview, Shatta Wale a question about his relationship with Burna Boy and how they started and now how like silenced they are and those things. Now Shatta Wale answered, and according to Shatta Wale, those days that Burna Boy was here in Ghana, in fact, they were rolling, everything was cool until some of his boys who were messing up or sake or mono spreaded, negative or false rumors about him. And a big Burna Boy, and that they told Burna Boy that Shatta Wale chop in Burna Boy in girl. And according to Shatta Wale, Burna Boy, decided not to talk to him again and those things. He chatted him, he tested him several times, and in fact, he didn't mind him. And had it not been God and his hard work, and KBL also was successful, then that statement, and a Blakk Rasta said, nah, that statement, that statement must be recorded in the Bible as the epistle of Shatta Wale. Let's get straight and listen to him. Stonebwoy and Shatta Wale song.
Burna Boy started off as a dancehall reggae artist, just like Shatta Wale. At a point, he was very, 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 very hot. Hot as in broke. No money, struggling. He decided to contact Shatta Wale. I remember the first concert he had right here in Ghana at the trade fair. There weren't even up to 20 people there. And he was on stage. And I remember George Britton in those days. In fact, he caught a video with his phone. And he was saying, Ghana, how can you do this to Burna Boy? Look, 1, 2, 3. He literally counted the 6 or 7 people standing in front of Burna Boy. He got in contact with Shatta Wale. One thing led to the other. And then it led to another and to another. And that's Burna Boy in the corner that you see him in the days of struggling. And look at the man with the cigar in the mouth. That is Shatta Wale. Look at the blinks around his neck. And you know the guy, the dreadlock guy next to Shatta Wale, that's on the left hand side of Shatta Wale. You know him, right? You know him, right? That is him. He's now based in America. And then if you look down there, there's another guy who's based in America. Yes, they might have fallen out, but Shatta Wale still remains Shatta Wale and is in there. Now Shatta Wale is telling us why he's no longer able to speak with Burna Boy. There was a time they even decided to face each other, freestyling. Burna Boy said, I'll come to Ghana and beat you up. This one says that, that one says that. At first we thought it was all gimmicks, but little did we know there was a raging storm. And Shatta Wale has told us this right inside Nigeria. And when he was asked that question, he paused for a second, drew a heavy cigar in his mind, and he started to speak out of pain, love, and passion. Watch this.
This beef happened. What about Burna Boy?
But okay, that's enough. All like 5 or 7 of these boys that I sacked were calling every rich man or every special person in my life to tell them I'm fucking their wives.
What?
And one affected Burna. That's what they told Burna Boy, that I was fucking his girl he brought to Ghana. If I hadn't fought well enough, this my friends would have made me lose an opportunity with Burna. Because Sia is successful today. Imagine God has not also touched me properly. I'll be so worried. and our regrets. Like, you know, I just thank God that God has put Burna somewhere, but it hurts me that he didn't listen to me to explain to him that this was what the boys were doing. You know, because he's my brother. I can't do that to his girlfriend. That I love him. I always tell him. I still love him. You know, I watch his streams and go like, oh, more. This is my brother. They enjoy. Like, you know, like he's tried so much, and you know, because we've been talking about this. You know, because when Burna came to me in Ghana, I was literally showing him houses. Like this, he's been asking me like, oh, more the music you take by this. I said, yeah, music, Shatta. You know, because very freeze.
Omo, the music you take by this Shatta. You sure? The music you take by this, Omo. So you can see the passion, the love from the bottom of the heart of Shatta. Of course, Burna Boy is far bigger than Shatta Wale today around the world. This is common knowledge, okay? And Shatta looks at him and he feels like if they were still together, by now, they should be breaking the ice in some different areas that God, in the words of Shatta, has taken Burna to. But he made mention of something else that really touched me. You know what he said? He said he has reached where he has reached because of sheer hard work and God. If he was going to depend on one single person, those guys that he sacked would have by now messed up every single opportunity that he had. Did you understand what he meant? Now they have destroyed him to Burna Boy and some other billionaires. If those people were those sponsoring him and pushing him, the authors of his success, they will pull back and he will fall to the ground. But no, it's sheer Takashi and hard work. Let's go. Hey, let's go. That is what is keeping him. And for me, I thought that this should be recorded in the Bible as the epistle of Shatta Wale.
Now, at this point, Blakk Rasta made it clear that, hey, Shatta Wale went to Nigeria with some fire, with some heat. And whatever he did, his moves, the interview and everything is bringing some shine to Ghana. And through Shatta Wale, no, this shine would spread to the other artists. At this point, he touched on Stonebwoy and Shatta Wale. And according to Blakk Rasta, he believes these people, these artists are men. And the friction, the tension between them, they are trying to, bring attention to their brands. And he thinks it is working for them. He congratulated Shatta Wale and said, hey, we love you, Shatta Wale. But hey, if we see anything criticable about you and we criticize you, take it normal. He also congratulated Stonebwoy. Let's get into this.
It looks like Nigeria is enjoying Shatta Wale. They normally don't have this kind of hard talk. In fact, Nigerian radio is very sanitized. But this is online, and even with that, they sanitize it to a certain point. Shatta Wale sent in some energy, and before he left, he sprinkled money around, and he left a very strong footprint in Nigeria. And you know why I'm excited about that? Now the glory is coming to Ghana. At least Nigerians, undoubtedly the biggest music economy in the whole of Africa, will start to recognize the Ghanaian Shatta Wale, and through him it will sprinkle and spread to all other musicians. My brother, my sister, when one man succeeds, we all succeed. This is Shatta Wale. And he had those wild things to say about Stonebwoy. He had that thing to say about Samini and about his relationship with Stonebwoy. But Stonebwoy, after listening to what he said, decided to react via Twitter. This was what he said. Now, the last time you saw me, you hugged me like an obsessed woman. Aren't you tired of lying? And this was what Stonebwoy was trying to say. After Shatta Wale said, when Stonebwoy sees me, he can't come close to me because the energy in me is too strong. He will fall. He's scared of me. He can't come to me. And this is what he said. When you met me the last time, right there at the Blakk Rasta thing, you hugged me like a woman, so obsessed. And he posted this photograph. And you can see Shatta Wale's face. I'm sure at this time he was saying, Efo, I'll go show you, pepper you. It's interesting. This is what it is. Now, I mean, we have seen Stonebwoy and Shatta Wale hug each other on stage. Watch this. Look at how he's jumping on him. I'm sure Shatta Wale wanted him to fall. You know, so that you go and say, Apache. Hey, I jump on Apache small, no, he fall. You know, he likes to tease him by whatever he sees on him. Wow, look, see that. Look, you heavy guy. Like, Stonebwoy didn't want trouble. He had to move away. This guy can jump on me again. Watch this, you know. But brother, this wasn't the only time they hugged. Several times they were in trouble together. The matter was sent to court. And then all of a sudden it fizzled into thin air. They had the clash, which was one of the very first in Ghana. The Assassin sound clash. They were there. It was during the COVID. It was all interesting. Well, I think that they are both businessmen and they are using that to be able to draw attention to their brands, which I think is working. Our prayer is that it should just remain music. Nothing more than what we saw. That would have been worse at the Music Awards. To Shatta Wale, congratulations. We love you. And we're looking forward to seeing you do more. Yes, we love you. Yes, but that doesn't mean that if we find something about you that is criticable, we shouldn't critique. Stonebwoy, we love you. And you know that we've always been your fans. All right? For that matter, we're looking forward to having you do more for Ghana. And also, incline an ear to the youth who are coming up. Raise them up too, so that at least they will have a bit of your experience when they are coming up. Dash. It's the Black Pot.
Oba shazi suwa. Ufa shazi efri ha kwa ha. Sika obi etuano. Ewo form chenkai no. Ewo form kra. Intino passengers and our riders. Mesra mo download the app no na mo use shazi no. Ubi bi ekaka mu a. Shazi drivers bebi a wo bi a ombe hwehwe. Ombe fro na omo de wade aiden abrel. Wo safety so de chale guaranteed with shazi drivers. Shazi drivers ye train you omo a che say wo form car ombe mo weni a shazi mpenufo de nhehye egu akwemu mo hwe nim se cars ni bi ebe ba be ka ho se na ebe ya ebe de ye betre e wo Ghana ha nyina bebi a befi bi a wo benya bi nti omo frɛ se wo car so a shazi frɛ se for car bra be come ho no mo nyi adwuma ahamo no betena se ahyehyɛ bibia kama che se wo be fili ankasa na woni shazi aye adwuma wo ye car owner also pɛ se woni shazi 4 year adwuma se wo driver eno no omo no betena se na omo ne wa fam na chese bibia ye kama uni drivers so shazi forward drivers a omo ye qualified drivers omo betumi eno aye adwuma omo ma problem bia omo buade so kan pese wo ye den we invest so a shazi for say bra omo ebie omo puna ma na enche Ghana buying the nintuma abebo shazi ntuma otum so mwana ena obi aguso omo bu shazi se na be ya shazi ebe den ebe gina ne nice so na shazi gina na so a egina ma Ghana fo nyina entino yesrew bra beka ho na shazi no wotia na waje so say it is time to ride.